This is the Earth, and these are all the living things on Earth. Now you are the scientist who has to study all these things. Where do you start? You start by classifying them into the kingdoms of life. The science of classifying things is called taxonomy, and scientists start with a basic question: living or not living? This is a rock, and this is my pet rabbit, Smokey. Just looking at these two things, it's easy to tell which one is living and which one is not living. Ah, but is it? On that rock, there are tiny, even microscopic creatures. How do you tell if they're living or not living? Well, scientists look for a few things to decide if something is alive. A thing is considered living if it responds to a stimuli, like a plant tilting toward the sun, if it changes or evolves or adapts to its environment, if it takes in and uses energy, like the energy we get from food, if it grows, develops, has offspring, and dies, and importantly, if it's made up of cells and those cells contain DNA. DNA are the molecules that are sort of the instruction book for life. If this thing meets all those requirements, then it's living.
Hooray!
And now that you've determined it's alive, you can classify it into a kingdom of life. But that's not as easy as you would think. In ancient Greece, Aristotle was the first to divide living things into groups. He decided on plants and animals. Plants were divided into small, medium, and large. Animals were divided into land, water, and air. But that put bees, birds, and bats all in the same subgroup because they all fly, and that just didn't work. In the mid-1700s, a Swedish scientist, Carl Linnaeus, developed a new classifying system. It was hierarchical, that is, the group started big and broad and then got smaller and more specific. And he used Latin terms. Linnaeus started with broad kingdoms of life, Plantae for plants and Animalia for animals. Then species are divided into more and more specific subgroups. So under this system, your pet dog belongs to the Animalia kingdom, the phylum Chordata, the class Mammalia, the order Carnivora, the family Candida, the genus Canis, the species Canis lupus, and the subspecies Canis lupus familiaris. With this system, every living creature on Earth could be classified into a very specific way, so scientists could study them. This worked pretty well, except for one thing. In the mid-1700s, Linnaeus was missing something: a microscope. With a microscope, scientists discovered all sorts of tiny creatures they'd never seen before. And these creatures didn't seem to fit into the animal or plant kingdoms of life. So scientists added a few more kingdoms: fungi for mushrooms, mold, mildew, and yeast, protista for things like amoeba and algae, and then they added Monera for bacteria. But scientists kept finding all these cool new creatures with different DNA, and they just didn't fit. So scientists decided to get rid of the category Monera and divide those creatures into two new kingdoms. But even that didn't work. I mean, scientists get into fistfights over this kind of stuff. So this is how some taxonomists divide up the kingdoms of life, and don't hit me if you disagree. They added a level above the kingdoms of life called domain. There are 3 domains. Archaea. These are single-celled organisms that do not have a nucleus. They live in soils, lakes, rivers, and in really harsh conditions, like hot vents deep in the ocean, or in sewage treatment plants. Then there are bacteria. They are similar to archaea in the terms of size and shape and having no nucleus, and they're found everywhere, even inside us. And the final domain is eukarya. This domain includes organisms whose cells have a nucleus. This group includes all the plants and animals on Earth. Then under the domains comes the kingdoms of life. Archaea and bacteria are both a domain and a kingdom. And then eukarya is split into Animalia, Plantae, fungi, and protista. But even that may not be how they classify things by the time you see this. In fact, they may not even use the term kingdoms of life anymore. It's so complicated. But the basics are simple to remember. Scientists give each living creature its own specific name using a classification system. Each group and subgroup share common characteristics. And by knowing where creatures fit into that system, scientists can better understand how they're related to one another. So Smokey and I are both part of the Animalia kingdom of life, and we both like carrots. Well, that has nothing to do with the classification system. It's just something we like to share. If you want to learn more, head to the Science Trek website or check our related videos. And if you like Science Trek, be sure to click the subscribe button to catch our newest videos.